Do you see this smile? I'm so happy today, and you guys are gonna laugh at me on why I'm so happy. It's because I don't have to leave the house today. I don't have any errands to run. I don't have to haul any kids anywhere. The level of adulting today is super duper low. It doesn't mean that I don't have any work. I am gonna do a bunch of canning, but I don't have to leave the house. I could just stay at home and kind of work at my own pace and not be so, micromanaging my time and strict with it. But anyway, let me show you what I have. Come on in. I was able to get these amazing fresh cucumbers from a friend, but everything else I have was from the Amish, and it was a pretty big haul. I'm just gonna start by taking these boxes out and showing you guys what I have. Okay, so I've been working with the Amish for a while, and it's just been quite an experience and my absolute pleasure. I have so much respect for them, honestly, because I don't know another group that have the work ethic like a robot. I mean, they are constantly working. So I have a huge respect for that. But anyway, some of the things that I've come across with my dealings with the Amish is, obviously their produce is amazing. The Amish lady that I buy from has a complete organic garden, and that's why I love her food. And she just gives it to me at prices that, it's just ridiculous. She overplanted the beets this year. So she called me up and said that I can get a 5-gallon bucket that's normally $10. I can get it for $5. $5 for a 5-gallon bucket of beets. That's like unheard of. If I go to my farmer's market, even down the road here, it's about $22. So, I couldn't pass that up. But here's the thing, I never know what I'm going to sort of get myself into when I finally drive up to the farm. Sometimes she doesn't have the time to pick the beets. So a lot of the times I know that I might end up doing a lot of picking myself. And I'm sure that's why the price goes down as well. But I really don't mind that. It gives me time to get to know her, and just, I guess, sort of ups the level of respect that I have for them for how hard they work. We were just in the blazing sun in the middle of the day picking these beets. And I'll tell you what, she was a fast picker. I was just like really trying to keep up with her and doing it because I didn't want to be embarrassed with my work ethic or anything like that. And she was willing to haul all of these boxes for me. Like, she was like, oh, I got it, I have it, I'll take care of it. And I was like, no, I'll do it. Like, I wanted to contribute as much to the work as she was doing. And my daughter was with me at the time too, and she was helping as well. I really obviously enjoyed that experience, but I never know what I'm going to be getting into when I do drive up to the farm. So another thing that I got from the Amish were these absolutely gorgeous green beans. And I got a ton of them, and I got a ton of them. Now, I know that you guys saw that I had canned green beans earlier and also beets, but my garden isn't enough to supply everything I need, throughout the winter. So I have to be able to find ways to, to get what I need. So the Amish will provide that for me. But these are just absolutely gorgeous. I am so impressed by how beautiful these vegetables are. I'm never disappointed anytime that I buy from them, ever. And it really wasn't that bad. Again, like, I buy 5-gallon buckets at a time, and this one was about $12 for a 5-gallon bucket. I didn't think that was too bad. And then if I need more, so I'll judge by how many pints I get with this, whether or not I need to go back and buy more, because she's still planting. She still has little green bean plants that are this big that are going to be growing. So I can always go back if I feel like I need more. So the other thing I thought was really interesting when I went to go and get my beans, I always learn something new with the Amish, and I am just so eager to continue to learn their recipes because they've been doing things forever. It's been passed down from generation to generation, and it's just very intriguing. But one of the things that she said to me was how she cans her green beans. And guys, listen, she does not have a pressure canner, okay? So she told me she does not pressure can her green beans, which, you know, by USDA standards, of course, you have to pressure can your green beans. And so I was really curious. I'm just like, really? So how do you go about doing that? And she said, well, you know, my mother has been doing it for years and her mother has been doing it for years. And she said, basically what I do, she said, I take the green beans, and she's like, you cut the tips off like you normally would, and then, you know, cut your green beans the way that you would desire them to be cut, or leave them whole, and you wash them really, really good. Now, she said she makes quart jars. She did not give me a recipe for pints, but she said for quart jars, you put a teaspoon of salt and a tablespoon of vinegar, and you water bath it for 1.5 hours. Now, she said, obviously, you start at your boiling time. That's when you start your time. Once it reaches a rolling boil, you time 1.5 hours. This is for a quart jar. And then I was like, well, you know, what if, you know, does it taste like vinegar? She's like, no, it doesn't taste like vinegar. She goes, but if you don't want to use vinegar, you can, she's like, at that point, then you want to process them for 3 hours. And I was like, okay, all right. So it was just really interesting because, I mean, obviously this woman has many children. She's about my age, and, you know, they're fine. They've been obviously canning green beans through water bath, okay? Through the water bath for years, and they're completely fine. And I should make a video on my issues with the USDA, but you know, they're fine and they're doing it, and it's been passed down forever. So I think I actually might try that sometime, just because, I mean, they're proof and they've been living it. So the next thing that I bought from the Amish was corn. I have a lot of work to do. I've got the beets, I've got the green beans, I've got corn, and I even have some cucumbers I have to get done as well. So I have a lot to get done, but you know what? Like, it's about a 40-minute drive for me, so I want to get as much as I can so I don't have to go ahead and drive back. But their corn, this is one thing that I covet. I covet the corn because it's just impeccable. I mean, it is just, I can't explain it. It's, you know, obviously any type of homegrown corn is better than anything that you would buy at the store or get in a can, but this corn that I get from this lady is just amazing. And they don't spray. Again, this is an organic garden, so they don't spray anything. So the very first time, I got their corn, I was a little squeamish just because, you know, there may be bugs at the top. Just maybe 1 or 2 little tiny worms that I may have seen. That would really gross a lot of people out. But here's the thing, that's just what you deal with when you are trying to grow organically. If you're gonna spray it, yeah, then you don't normally get bugs. But I was fine with it. You know, she was very cool with me. You know, she's like, you know what, all you have to do is, she's like, you peel it, and she says, just break off the top and make sure you wash it real well. She's like, it should be fine. So I had to get over that, and I was quickly and pleasantly surprised, and it's fine. I mean, it's fine. It's beautiful corn. I mean, it is just, I mean, there's really nothing bad I can say about it. There's just some things that I personally had to get over, you know, with that. I mean, yeah, but corn was one of the main things that I was driving up to go ahead and get. And it wasn't that expensive, like, I don't know, it was $3.50 for a dozen. That's not too bad for organic corn. Actually, I think that's kind of a really good deal. And it was pretty awesome because I had to pick these two. I I had to go out and pick these two, which again, I don't mind. It gives me the experience, it gives my daughter experience, and we were able to pick off the stalks and sort of eat the raw corn on our way of picking. So if you can just imagine us in this beautiful green field of corn stalks and just to be able to pick it off and eat it fresh. I don't know if you guys have done that. Let me know if you've just taken corn without even cooking it and just eating it, because it is just so amazing. It is so good. It's such a great little sweet treat. And we were hungry, so it definitely hit the spot. But that was something that I really enjoyed. But yeah, we had to pick these guys too. Another experience I've had with working with the Amish is that they are so protective with their work. I know earlier I was talking about how their work ethic is just impeccable, and they will do everything they can to protect that. For instance, when last year I had bought at least 10 gallons of peas. Now these peas, they were not shelled or anything like that, so it was a lot cheaper for me to buy them with the shell on them, because usually what she would do is take the peas and she would make them into pint bags, and I didn't want that because it was just cheaper for me to buy them, you know, with the shell on. And I tried to do that this year, but she said, you know what, like, I don't know if I'm gonna have extra like last year. So this year, she said, I think I'm just gonna have you buy them in pint bags. If you want them, you can buy them in pints. And I was kind of curious. I was like, well, you know, how comes I can't buy them in the shell? And she's like, well, you know what? The children need work. They need help. They need to help me. She said, so I would rather that they take the time and help me with what I have, which was shelling the peas and putting them in pint jars this year. And so I realized, like, wow, you know, they are willing to protect their work. And I just thought that that was really amazing. It kind of, you know, wasn't cool for me just because I really didn't mind shelling them. I was willing to do the work for a cheaper price, but they are willing to do everything they can to protect that work and instill that work ethic within their children. All right, that's pretty much what I've gotten from the Amish. Let me tell you one more little experience that I've had with them is that when the Amish call, you take the call. And that is because they don't have their phone like attached to them or their house, at least not the Amish that are around, you know, in Pennsylvania here. So, you know, oftentimes when I see their name on the screen, I pick up right away because I don't know if I'm going to lose that chance of being able to get something fresh that day, because if they can't get a hold of you, then they will move on to the next person on their list. So when they call, I absolutely answer. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video of just some short stories and my haul from the Amish.